But
I already know my Wi-Fi and everything.
Here we go. It's gonna cut out a little bit, but we'll start anyway. Okay, here we go. It won't cut out on Jolt Radio, but maybe on Instagram.
how are you gonna introduce me again?
Horticulture whore specialist.
Just a whore. Just a whore. Just a whore.
Go full on horticulture specialist.
Okay, why isn't this
Certified horticulture specialist would be actually more accurate.
Okay, here
Certified.
we go. Hello, Miami. It is Wednesday, July 10th, 2019, and this is Nothing's Going On, episode 13. I'm your host, Rafa. Very happy to be here on this muggy summer day. I'm here with the excellent panel. And this time, we went from a panel of one last week to a panel of four. So let me introduce everybody. To my left is Andy. He is a horticultural specialist.
Certified
horticultural specialist working here in Miami. To his left is Gabe, and he said he was in agricultural
Agricultural entrepreneur.
Thank you. Also working here in Miami. To his left, a nurse also working here in Miami. It's Caroline. And to her left is a producer and something or other, something with TV. I know you work at TV. It's Chippy. Chip.
Hey, everybody.
Say hello. Proper
Hello?
There you go. Thank you. Okay. So the way we always start this show is we do a little off-the-cuff talk with no topic or whatever, and I ask you guys if something happened to you, in the past week or so that you could say is very Miami, a very Miami thing to happen. So think about that for a second while I ask you at the same time what you guys did for the 4th of July, if anything interesting. Did anybody do anything cool?
I went on the boat all day, which was really great.
Okay.
Because
Tell me more. Where did you go?
Well, normally we typically do Rafa's parade on the 4th of July, and this year, for the first time ever, I skipped out to spend time. The time I would have spent at the parade, I spent launching the boat into the water and then getting myself out into the bay, and it was a fun time. I had a really great time.
Sounds efficient.
So where in the bay did you go?
We ended up at the Stiltsville Flat. Chipper has a connection with Stiltsville.
It's good flat.
We actually wanted to go.
It's a lesser known flat. It's a good flat.
Yeah. Are we allowed to associate you with a Stiltsville house?
Sure, why not?
So we passed by Chipper's Stiltsville house, but it didn't have any deck on it. So we kept going on until we found a sandy patch, and that's where we posted up.
Nice. Yeah, I eventually joined you guys out there. I run the Key Biscayne 4th of July parade. It's the longest lasting parade in South Florida, 60 years this year, all volunteer run. And somehow, even though I'm not a citizen, I got put as president of the 4th of July parade.
That's so Miami.
That is very Miami. And so it was a great time, as always, real family-friendly, but not really. It's Key Biscayne, I know it's got this uptight, kind of stuffy vibe going on, but on the 4th of July, it's kind of a free-for-all, and you could do whatever you want. And so being in the parade is awesome. Our buddies always build this float that's a lot of fun to ride in, and we get on there, we put a keg on there, and we just ride through the parade, saying hi to all the little families and stuff like that. Great time. And after that, I went to there's always little parties on the Key, and you can kind of party hop, which is nice. But we went out on boat, and I didn't want to go at first because I was like, oh, dude, you get stuck on the boat, and then you're just like fucked, and you don't have you can't get off and whatever.
Who does not want to get stuck on a boat?
A lot of people.
Sometimes it happens that you just find yourself out there, you didn't eat anything, and nobody wants to leave or whatever. But actually, it was me who didn't want to leave by the end. I was like, man, we're leaving already. What?
But how many different types of reggaeton we're playing?
Oh, so this is the best part. We got to the sandy spot there out by Stiltsville. And there was maybe 2 other boats when I showed up. Nobody was there, and they were playing like
really good
your favorite 90s buzz cuts.
Nice,
So
Stilts Flats is a little more low key.
Yeah, but now, especially now, because it used to be really popular in like the early 2000s.
Until, can we save the story for later? But our dear Rafa here was responsible for
starting up another flat.
Yeah.
And took all the people that was much closer to Miami. So it took all those people that would drive all the way out there to the Sandy Flat. And now they go somewhere else.
It coincided well with. It ended up being termed the recession flat because nobody wanted to drive that far or navigate that far.
That's right. Yeah.
And then it was a lot easier to just join Rafa's party at the Mashta flat.
Yeah. That's pretty much
anybody's
how it
wondering
went.
how that flat got popular. It's
How was the parade this year?
So the parade was amazing because there wasn't that many people. It wasn't too hot. And it was just really chill. It was just chill.
Dude,
I love that parade. It wasn't too long. It was just perfect.
It's sort of the last.
Had a great time. And what we did on the float, which was really fun, was there's an old band on the quay called the Chowder Chompers, and they were just kind of like a local, like kind of marching band type of thing. But by the end, they would ride in the parade in the back of a trailer because they all got old and they never like renewed the ranks. So they would just like, oh, we're not marching through this thing. We're going to all sit, through the whole thing. So they stopped participating like 10 years ago. And we did our own thing, imitating what they used to do. But none of us could play instruments. And we had like all these brass instruments and stuff like that. And so we were just going around like, making noise. We had a drum set and we were just like banging on it. And then when we got up to the stage, which is like where the announcer is, and he announces all the passing floats and stuff, and got up and like silenced all the music, told the DJ on the stage, turn off the music, we got something we're gonna play for you guys. And then like I went up like the maestro, and I was like, okay guys, ready, 1, 2, and it was like like it's just like horrible. It was just hilarious.
Was there like the float competition and everything this year?
Yeah. We didn't win because it wasn't that like it didn't look that cool from the outside. The actually the Biscayne Nature Center won, and they win $1,500.
What was the float?
It was a big sea turtle made of garbage of plastics from the ocean.
Wow.
Yeah.
Appropriate.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
With straws coming out of the nose.
The message was clear.
Exactly.
Dude, what the year I attended, I thought didn't we win that float? It was the lighthouse. Wasn't that 2 years ago? Maybe
that was last year.
It was last year.
No,
Yeah,
that was
last year. The lighthouse was last year.
Wasn't I on top of the
Miami time travel.
Yeah.
All the years.
That was pandering because we knew the judge was from Billbag State
that
Park.
float was legit. What are you talking about? That float was amazing. We had to like navigate through power lines and treetops. Dude, I'm telling you, but those little small traditions that have the community to back it, it's kind of lacking now, and it needs to stay alive, which is why I'm always proud of you and sort of push you in that direction, man.
Yeah,
someone needs to maintain it. There always needs to be a rally point, and
That's
you've always
Rafa.
kind of served as that. Just saying, man.
Raffaele.
The Grove is starting to steal a little bit of the Key Biscayne teas, teas little by little.
Doesn't the Grove have the mango strut?
Yeah, that's sort of our equivalent, and it's like boisterousness, and it's sort of lunacy, and like just people having fun, and then it's community based, and it's also there's like loose political themes that go through it. But I mean, again, it always takes like a ragtag group of like community leaders that get enough people together to actually make the thing happen, and then that's the difference between like sort of our community-based programs here.
Is there like a Grove Rafa?
There are a few Grove Rafas. They trade off every year.
I want to be in the strut one year. Yeah. Like do something for the strut, but we haven't put it together yet.
I've done the strut a couple of years. It's fun, man.
That's the name of the float, the strut butt.
The strut butt. They always do like a little bit of loose political satire.
Yeah, which is nice. It gives it a little edge that on the 4th of July you can't really do that because you can't. It's not a day for politics or to trash people or to do anything like that.
So what else happened on 4th of July?
Did you guys do anything else? I ended up like on the beach watching the fireworks or whatever.
Well, my last 4th of July, I almost died.
Because?
Oh, wow.
So
figuratively or?
I was going through a breakup, and
And then you found Chip. Okay.
Wait, is that this last 4th of July or last 4th?
last
2018.
yeah, 2018.
Okay.
So I was going to a pool party, so I wanted to be like all like nice and skinny, and I was on a bone broth diet for like a week.
Bikini
1
weather.
week.
Is that vegan? The bone broth diet?
Miami diet.
I don't think it's vegan. It's very, what do you call it? Paleo or animal, whatever.
Yeah, paleo.
Hey, Leo.
Yeah. I went to like this party on South Beach. And then my friend was like, "Oh, take this pill." So I'm like, "Okay."
Was it the blue pill or the red pill?
It was an orange pill.
Oh.
Yeah, I almost died. Like I did not remember the whole entire thing. My
So your
friends,
family was there.
no.
Hold on. So more importantly, well, I guess it's not that important, but just out of curiosity, because I'm going to take advantage of the opportunity. I was in Whole Foods. Yeah, Whole Foods yesterday or the day before, and they sell bone broth.
That's where I got my bone broth.
I know, and it's $5. It's $5 for like a little can or a little cup of.
It's not cheap.
But wait, hold on. I guess broth by nature is not stock, right? You can just have it like a soup.
Yeah,
That's what you do with bone broth. You just have it as soup. You just chug it.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Gotcha.
So how are we going to segue out of bone broth?
Yeah, but
I was genuinely.
I want to know where this party was.
Yeah, where was this party?
Wait, but I'm a little confused. Was it
was
the bone
like-
broth or the pill? I'm very confused right now.
It was a pill made out of bone broth. I thought that was clear.
Right.
no, I
Completely
had
clear.
bone broth for a week, so my stomach was super small. So anything that came in my stomach, I was like 10 times
absorb
worse.
it.
Yeah,
So wait, let's go back. Where was the party?
it was on South Beach.
Oh, that's a big place, though. Was this like an apartment? Was it a backyard?
Yeah, and then my friend said like, "Oh, the fire rescue almost took you away."
Oh wow.
Oh.
Yeah,
All right.
What did you learn
Jesus.
about America that day?
I don't know. I have no idea what happened. But yeah, then this 4th of July, it was very calm. I actually got the vampire facial.
Wait a moment. Go on. You have all of our full attention.
So I couldn't be out in the sun for 2 days, so I just stayed inside. Listen to
but
fireworks.
When
but
did a
That's-
vampire give you a facial? I don't.
Oh, I get it now. I get it.
I don't get it.
Wow.
no, they take out your blood, then they like centrifuge it, then they inject plasma in your skin.
Jesus.
Wait, you're serious?
Yeah, and it felt like I was getting a tattoo all over my face. So
Oh, that sounds so bad.
so yeah, I was inside, not partying.
Wow.
But I was like, I think I did last year for 2 years, so I'm good.
What
That
was
is-
better, the drug infused night out or the
The vampire, facial?
Oh boy, that's a hard.
It's a hard question.
I would say the vampire facial is better because at least you get some young skin, and the next day you don't regret anything.
Oh, that's the first I hear about that, but
I feel you.
I'll take it.
Cool.
I had a quiet one in the Grove with the family. We
Really?
we did some gringo ass activities.
What's that mean?
We put on khakis and we went to the yacht club.
Did you play croquet?
There was not croquet set up, but
Oh,
there was
wow.
there's a very nice curated lawn, and children were sprawled and playing with sparklers, and we had gin drinks, and we spoke of the past and the future, and then we
wow.
oohed and awed at the fireworks.
So
That sounds nice.
somebody was actually telling me the other day, was like, man, 4th of July is the best holiday because people party and you don't have to go to any family things.
No, but that starts to change.
There's no family dinner. There's no nothing. You don't have to, get tied up in that. But
I
for
don't know.
Chibi,
I feel like the yacht club, it might be a gringo thing, but I feel like the 4th of July family dinner, it's expected after you get out of your 20s again.
Chip, a quick question. Did you watch the fireworks in the Grove?
Yeah, I was actually talking up Key Biscayne fireworks show real hard and like real loud for people to hear because people noticed it started first. So from our vantage point, you could see it start going, and I'm like, you wait. Those motherfuckers always come here to play every year. They're the first one's on the field, last one's off.
It's funny because for the first year, I was on the Grove side of the bay because I was on the boat all day. I ended up on the Grove side, and we went to go watch the Grove fireworks for a change.
Uh-huh.
But from our
Vantage point?
Anchorage, where we were posted up, I could see the Key Biscayne
Dude,
fireworks.
who is in charge of that budget?
I don't know, but they have such a bigger budget because
Are they hiring like Chinese spies to come over
there's
and like
definitely
engineer?
a much bigger budget on
It's
Key Biscayne.
huge.
And it's funny because you were on land.
You can see it forever and for
I wasn't
miles.
sure if the landlubbers could see the fireworks on the Key. I could definitely see them, and I could compare them on the spot, and it was scary how much longer and cooler. I mean, one spelled out USA on Key Biscayne.
yeah.
They had letters, and they had flowers, and they had...
Be funny if they misspelled
And
USA.
then WDNA, the jazz station, synchronizes the music to the fireworks. You can tune your radio to it or go online, and you can hear like a song synchronized to the fireworks.
The problem with the Grove was that they had sparklers or whatever start on the field, and then the barge started.
You mean the park?
The park.
Yeah,
started
that was
some
a janky.
sparklers.
That was a janky fireworks show.
And then I thought
that was
like,
fireworks by Pablo for sure.
Yeah, that was some random dude who had like fireworks, and then the Key Biscayne started, and then the barge in the Grove started, and it was just mayhem for about 20 minutes until it was all over.
Dude, I had the funniest conversation with a friend the other day. She's like environmentalist type, and she was petitioning some of the counties to not support fireworks shows, but do more sustainable shows like drone shows. And I was telling her like, this is a losing battle.
Oh,
you
man.
cannot fuck with people's fireworks.
Drones
Never
are cool.
gonna be able to do
Yeah, but it's not just the lights; it's the sound.
It's the boom. It's
yeah,
the
it's
smoke.
the boom.
People forget why that whole boom and smoke goes off too, which is funny. And I was like,
Rockets,
oh,
red glare, dude.
Yeah, it was warfare up there, friends. Freedom ain't free.
All right, so that's Castle Black 05. So that's your 4th of July.
Hold on, we didn't ask Gabriel.
Oh, sorry, Gabe.
Well, no, but I mean, I feel kind of bad because if we're talking about vampire facials, I was cultivating garlic, so I don't know how that would like really work out because I mean,
Perfect.
Listen, I was
You're
not
cultivating garlic.
garlic, yeah, trying to keep the vampires away.
Interesting.
But yeah, I was like, I'm still thinking about that. I'm still thinking about that.
Where in Miami were you cultivating garlic?
Well, no, I wasn't in Miami at the time.
Oh,
I was
gotcha.
In Mexico, but
So there's not much 4th of July going on, obviously.
not much 4th of July going on in Mexico. I mean, especially what's happening in our country, but we won't get into that subject. But,
All right.
Yeah, I mean, moving on.
Yeah, moving on. So I guess when we move on this show, I just say the date again because it's a nice transition, so I'll do it right now. It's Wednesday, July 10th, 2019. It's about 9:43 p.m. Nothing's going on.
What do you mean, man?
In Miami, episode 13.
It's the last Wednesday of the week.
Is it? All right. Unless you guys have anything else very Miami that happened to you this week or this past week. I feel like you guys are always on the street. I work from home, so I don't get to...
I happen to have a really great job at the Miami Design District. I do the landscaping there. And today I had the honor of bumping into a celebrity by the name of, I don't even know his real name, but his stage name is Fez from that 70s show.
Wilmer.
Wilmer Valderrama?
Yes, no way.
Wilmer Valderrama.
Yeah,
Wait, which one's Fez again?
Fez, the funniest one, the one
The
who made
foreign
the show.
exchange
The foreigner
student.
guy.
Oh, yeah, Fez.
Fez, foreign estate.
He would live in Miami. Is he
What?
living in
I don't
Miami
know
or
if
is
he
he
li-
just hanging
I
out?
don't know,
in
he
Miami?
was just-
Where's that guy from?
He walked by and I noticed him. I said, "Damn."
Where is he from?
He's Venezuelan.
Oh.
But he gave me the shaka brow, and it was kind of cool.
Really?
Yeah.
Does
Why?
he still act like Fez?
He was just asking a random question. I replied, and then he said, shaka brow. And I was like, cool. Rock on, bro.
Nice, man.
Surf's up, bro.
He used to date Lindsay Lohan when she was hot. You guys remember that?
When
beautiful.
she was hot.
She's still hot. She's
I
hotter
saw,
now.
I saw her in Dubai last year. Lindsay
Really?
Lohan.
You saw
was very-
Lindsay Lohan in Dubai?
I was actually in her apartment. I was
How?
in Dubai.
Damn, I thought my celebrity
In
said it was
Dubai.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Dubai. It was actually really fun, but I can't disclose anything more than that.
That sounds like a party, man.
I'll look up the medical records later, man.
Right.
All right, moving on. Well, let's get to some of the news that
forgot-
happened.
We
forgot
didn't
the
talk
date.
about the roundabouts, bro.
I just said that. Well, you want to talk about the roundabouts?
We said new Miami things that I think are funny. This will maybe segue us into the whole transportation train.
Tell me about the roundabouts.
So, like, in the Key, you guys have had roundabouts for quite some time.
Also known as cul-de-sacs.
Not so much a cul-de-sac. It's a roundabout. It's a traffic flow system. So instead of a four-way, you got the roundabout.
Okay.
So these are recently being installed in the Grove, and there's a couple popping up in the Gables here and there. I find people who don't know what to do with a roundabout are among the more frustrating humans to interact with in the entire world. 'Cause the
Yes.
Roundabouts-
Totally agree with you there.
roundabouts in general are built to keep flow moving. It's a very simple rule. You yield, you keep moving, you bob, you weave. It can be a beautiful thing, but only in Miami could we fucking ball that up beyond belief. Just
You mean
muck it
when
up.
the guy wants to be nice and like
People-
stop in the
exactly.
stop in the
The
roundabout?
only time anyone would ever try to be courteous in Miami is at the wrong moment. They're like,
I think
no,
it's
man.
cultural.
The only time. The only time.
They stop at the roundabout. They're like, please
Come
You're
in.
like- you're like, nope. That's not how that works, bro. And he's like, no, please. And I'm like,
I don't know if you heard the show the last time I was on, and it was all about. I mean, my only message was the traffic situation. Just don't impede traffic. If you're in the roundabout and you stop, you're impeding traffic.
Every single driver in Miami feels entitled to stop. Generally, whenever they want to do whatever they need to do, even if that's just like, check your nails, like send Tia an update about dinner.
Uber Eats is not helping you.
So wait, back to the roundabout. That's really funny. The person who is in the roundabout doesn't know that he's supposed to keep going until he gets out, and he tries to let you in and just breaks the whole concept
of the consistency I've found among new roundabouts in Miami throughout.
It's funny because in other places, people jump into the round. Like the thing that happens at them is that people throw themselves in like at any moment because they know that nobody's going to wait for them or whatever. So you just got to like anytime just throw yourself in. But you're telling me that it's the opposite here.
Which only could happen in Miami. I mean, like one of the more aggressive driving cultures in the world. Only in Miami. You know what? I'm feeling good today. I'm feeling like I'm gonna let someone just in today.
But I mean, Jip, I just had to notice that you said it like you said something about gringo earlier, and then you said it in a very like line. It's cultural. You were like, please. I was like, okay.
Por favor, pasa.
Yes, correct.
Está bien. No, para ti.
Please.
Es un regalito para vos.
Please. Exactly. So I think it's a cultural. Just for all our lads, come on.
But like, dude, we get the amalgamation of every driving culture in Latin America, which God knows is upside down to begin with. Like, but then like you come into a semi-United States setting, and you're like, estamos, and you're like, what?
You drive in one lane.
And then I also blame the Fast and the Furious videos for setting this weird culture of like, I'm always in a race. It's that or everyone's always late. And I can't figure out which one it is, but like, it's still an ongoing.
It's either you or me. Who goes first?
Except in a roundabout when it's like, you go first, and I'm like, no.
Please.
I told the story last time, but the best license plate I've ever seen in Miami was one guy that had something, license, one of those vanity plates that said, "Me first."
That's actually perfect. Me first, bro.
Yeah.
All right, keep it going.
Can I petition just to make can we add a segment for like traffic public service announcements in the show?
Oh,
Sure.
I did it last time. I'm doing it again today. So
Okay, is that later?
no, I'm just saying. Like,
Can you sum it up with move, bitch?
No,
Get out the way.
We just did it. I mean, that was it. Just make it a routine.
There's a couple more. I mean, a lot of the news and a lot of the things that happen in Miami have to do with commutes and traffic, so it'll come up again. But the first thing I have on the list here of things that happened in the past 2 weeks since the last show is, did anybody see that guy, Jorge Masvidal, the UFC guy?
No.
Everybody missed it? Nobody here?
A 5-second fight.
Explica.
Okay, this guy is from Hialeah. He's 35. He's in this MMA fight. He gets the fastest knockout in the history of UFC.
I think you're missing the point, though. The opponent was talking shit the whole time.
Yes, so the opponent was talking huge.
How far up in the UFC rankings is this person? I'm just curious. Like, is this like a...
That I'm not... I know that this was a semi-important fight because people were watching it. Okay. It wasn't just something that... Yeah, it was a lot of hype for this fight. And this guy comes out and he just knees him in the face. Nice. And the guy goes down in a second. So the guy's from Hialeah, and he goes to the post. So that was amazing, first of all.
Sorry, one pause. Is it... was Masvidal from Hialeah or the opponent?
Masvidal.
So the guy who won was from Hialeah.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So then
we have a winner.
Yeah, exactly. No, the guy goes to the post press conference, and you gotta hear this guy. It's amazing. He is so Miami, and so the first thing he does.
That's only cue in the volume.
The first thing he says is, they ask him like, "Well, like, what do you think of this guy? Like, why? Well, like, what's the deal with this fight? Whatever." He's like, "Hey, it was just business, but I don't like him. But I really don't like him." And then he starts talking about how he knew him from before, and the guy was talking a lot of shit, and then whatever. Okay. That post conference, yeah. And then, oh man, some of the things he says in that conference, I encourage you guys to look it up. The guy's name is Jorge Masvidal, George Masvidal. Really, really good, and really makes you proud to be from Miami seeing that guy.
I have a sound clip. Can I put it?
Sure.
Let's put a sound clip.
in UFC history, and clearly a fight that was very personal to you. So along the way, you've had some great wins. Where's
Sorry, there's a lot of garbage here.
Do you know where the clip is?
Make sure that I put enough money away for my kids to go to university, so that belt was next.
I'll say it.
And I'm glad I got to end that dude, man.
There's probably so much gold on this whole video.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. I encourage
All I
everybody to
put
go.
was Jorge Masvidal press conference.
That's
and
it.
Came right up.
Wait, so what? That's a good segue for like favorite 100% Miami words or sayings. Like a quick one. Can we do a quick round table? Like is obvio. Faded, I feel like, is super like tremendo us.
Ekiumi.
Pero
Why?
Dale.
But why?
Pero why?
But why?
I just like the classic no, like, and you say it in English and you say it in Spanish, whereas the way you ask a question, when you say something, it's like,
Don't you believe it? No.
yeah, no, that's a question with a question. No, you say something like the thing is black, no?
Yeah. Well, that's like taking.
We have beers, no?
That's taking an Hispanic syntax and putting
But
it
it-
into English.
But it's very Miami. Nobody
Yes,
else
it
in the
is.
U.S. says it. I don't think they even say it in L.A. or
Trust me,
anything
man.
like
I
that.
confuse white people everywhere I go.
Yeah.
Oh, well, no. There's also like, hello, where are you going?
I like personally my favorite is te llamo pa atrás. Which is a literal equivalent of I'll call you back.
Yeah.
For the record, it's te llamo de vuelta.
Yeah.
Right?
Or parquear,
Yeah,
estacionar.
yeah.
I just make up words because it's easy.
The easy
Yeah.
way out.
Well, then my favorite is I think the only place I've heard that is grits for cigarettes. That's the only place I've ever heard that phrase used.
Yeah, it's true. Grits for
Let me get a
cigarettes.
grit.
Yeah, let me
And
get a
I
grit.
still like to pull it out once in a while just to see what people do. And sometimes
That's
they
dope, bro.
sometimes
Boo.
I was like super faded, bro.
Dale, let's get some grits.
Anyway, if you want to hear stuff like that, listen to this guy's press conference. Jorge Masvidal.
Can I put some?
Really-
I'm glad he ended that guy too.
Really good.
He had the chance to end that guy, and he took that chance.
That wasn't even that little clip we played wasn't even
That guy
the
was.
start
That guy
of what
swore.
happened.
That guy swore, and then he was taken out.
All right, moving on. Let me ask you guys a question. That's a stupid way to say it. What I was about to say. But none of you guys vape, right?
The robot dick? No.
I tried vaping once to quit cigarettes, and I ended up just vaping indoors and then smoking cigarettes outdoors. So I just doubled down.
That's funny. So I always tell people the reason I don't vape is because I don't want people to know I'm a loser before they talk to me.
It's a weird impression, honestly, if you're just like talking to someone and they're very casually
I just
vaping.
don't think anybody knows what is in that canister.
But anyway, the reason I'm asking is because July 1st, vaping is now illegal inside in the state of Florida.
That's cool.
That's fine,
And
man.
so I wanted to bring it up. I was just talking to this guy outside, and he was telling me how it at any of the bars that we go to, it's not an issue, right? Not like whatever. But I could see it becoming an issue even at the most ratted bars because some little bitch will be like, "Oh, you can't vape in here."
Well, I
But who's
presume
really
if you can
gonna bring that
smoke,
up?
if you can smoke cigarettes, you could probably vape, right?
Yeah, but if you can't, that's curious thing.
Well,
I'm
there's
not sure.
many places that still. We're one of the last holdouts. Florida in general, like there's still a couple beautiful places in the corner where you can still light up a cigarette and order a basket of conch fritters and just be like, "Yep,
Yeah.
this is what I'm doing right now." But that's slowly fading out of commonplace, and I commend Florida in that. But I also get the whole like no one wants to like smell cigarette butts.
I'm down with the like the mid-meal smoke. You know?
So this is the thing. Back at the last election, that midterm election, which also had a bunch of stuff about Florida on the ballot, they had an amendment for people to vote on, and it was, do you want to ban drilling off the coast of Florida and
rider.
on the same question and
Pork fat.
and vaping inside?
Yeah, that's
So
how
pe-
that
Oh,
gets
wow.
on the
So
ballot.
people are like, okay, yeah, well, I don't like drilling and I don't vape, so but
vaping
But why do they
sucks.
put vaping on the same one?
Because sometimes you have to consolidate your legislation based on time constraints.
Usually-
you got to push it through.
Usually you do it,
Yeah.
you know, with things that are similar.
Not always, but
And
yes.
you would hope so.
That's just called poor planning. That's last minute.
Well, you know what? It worked out for the better.
You think so? Vaping? Who cares if somebody vapes inside? I mean,
it's obnoxious.
I suppose the people with their big clouds, do you even vape, bro? Those guys,
Vape Nation.
yeah. Those guys are very annoying. But I don't know. Do you really have to ban vaping?
Well, dude, even worse than vaping, let's take it back to our whole traffic conversation. Apparently, we're finally going after officially texting.
Yes, I was going to get to that, but we're talking about vaping right now. What is that? It has as much to do as drilling, dude.
Some people are very passionate about cigarettes.
Oh, I mean,
Not.
I love going to bars that you can still smoke at. I've said that a million times at this show because to me it's like vices, you know.
It's nice,
places
though.
where you vice.
It's a safe place.
Yeah, exactly. So I can't believe they banned vaping. I don't like it. I don't.
Why don't
I don't
you like
vape.
that?
I don't care.
And first of all, I think they only banned vaping in like workplaces, and it was I forgot the other part of the legislation that specified where it was exactly.
Well, anywhere you can't smoke, I guess you can't vape.
Which is, dude, I'm fucking fine with that. Good, put them on the same level, make them pariahs as well.
But they're not the same. Number one, vaping is doesn't do anything.
It'll take them down a few notches because there's nothing worse than having a conversation with someone that are like, "Hold on, let me blow some O's, bro."
I don't know.
By the way, this tastes like Cheerios. You're like, oh fuck. Like if you're gonna do a carcinogen, like make it taste like a carcinogen.
I'm not a fan of. I don't know. I don't like the banning of that.
I don't even like vaping weed. I mean, it's not even. I don't even consider
Once in a while,
it
it's
smoke.
kind of nice.
Not even.
It's pretty practical.
Smoke is smoke, man.
You know what sucks is that now when they see you with the stick,
They assume.
with the pen, they're gonna be like, "You can't do that in here. You can't." I don't know. I don't like it.
What
I
really grinds my gears.
What grinds your gears, Andy?
Is when I see like 14-year-olds or 16-year-olds or 16-year-olds that look like 14-year-olds fucking vaping.
Yeah, but would you rather see them huffing on fucking Jimmy sticks, or do you want them smoking Fruit Loops?
I suppose Fruit Loops. I suppose you have a point there, but still, I mean,
It's something cool to do. I started smoking because it was cool.
No,
that was
it's
cool.
not
I
cool.
definitely did it because it was cool.
It's not cool.
It was illegal. I was like 15, maybe 14.
No,
I had access to them.
No,
I could steal them from my dad's fucking little secret
You got it
spot.
all wrong.
I could go down to my little spot in the Grove down by the water where all the fucking kids used to go for like fish. It was a spot after Ransom Everglades on the left going off Main Highway. There's a little dip down into the hill.
I know.
I used to ride my bike down there, fucking throw my yo-yo rod into the water and smoke cigarettes.
I'll tell you
like
what,
a badass.
I'll blow your mind in a second, but the reality is that smoking's not cool.
Yeah,
Cool people smoke, but smoking's not cool.
Yeah, we know.
Cool people smoke.
Okay,
I read that in a book once, and it really stuck.
I don't.
That's why we smoke.
I mean, James Dean was a smoker. He was fucking cool as fuck.
Dude, all I know is I
Marlboro Man. I mean,
steadily,
Yeah, Marlboro Man's cool as fuck. I mean, cool people smoke.
steadily tempered it off. It's not as
I see a lot of people
convenient.
smoking, and they don't look cool.
Yeah,
But
no
I see a
shit.
lot of cool people smoking, and then I'm like,
Only
oh,
like
cool.
3 people look cool smoking. The rest of them are like like holding a baby, like trying to fucking do
That's my
laundry
point.
at a coin wash, like with a cigarette in their mouth. Like,
That's my point.
Yeah.
All right, quit talking about me. All right, the next thing that was banned starting July 1st was texting and driving. Anybody been pulled over for that yet?
No.
I don't think anybody will be.
No, mine
Every time I get spooked,
Once the quotas start reaching, they'll get it.
no. Every time I spook out, I'm like, oh fuck, there's a cop right next to me. I'm texting, and I look over, the motherfucker's texting too.
So we were just talking about this outside about seeing cops doing just about anything. They're always on their little laptops, and I saw one recently. Well, now it's been like 6 months, and he had a mount on his A-pillar, right next to his face on the left, and he was watching TV while he was driving home. So, I mean, I wonder if people are going to get pulled over for this. I kind of hope they are because I know you've seen it. There's a guy in front of you. It's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and he's swerving.
Yeah, because he's watching fucking YouTube.
And he's actually typing or something. Because when you type, you really have to look at the phone.
He's swiping, dude. Every time I look, they're swiping. I ride a motorcycle, which allows me not
It's
to have
that
any
phone.
texting.
No, but listen, I drove down from Orlando today, and I was going, probably not good to say, but I was going maybe about 85, 90. I'm not really going to say how fast I was driving, but passed by a couple highway patrols. I didn't get pulled over.
Yeah, no
and
shit.
I had no, but I mean, mind you, I don't do that route all the time, so I was just like, shit, I'm okay, all right, and 2 3 down, and I didn't get pulled over.
For speeding
They
or
had
for
speeding, dude.
For speeding.
Yeah, for speeding. But I mean,
They were
come on,
swiping.
What are they
Were you
doing?
respectfully speeding? Were you like in the left lane, trading into the right lane, the change lanes?
No. I was just,
Or were you like
respectfully speeding?
Were you like, if you're doing 100 on the highway, get the fuck out of my way?
Correct,
Okay.
correct. Yeah, I was just hauling us down the highway, and 3 highway patrols, and my friend that was driving with me, she's like, they are on their fucking phone.
I told you.
Yeah, man.
She's like, they are on their phone.
Cops
She's
are
like,
bored.
Yeah, well, and
Only cops.
then
Well,
I mean,
I was gonna say only cops in Miami, but his story
yeah, I know. I mean,
proves otherwise.
I mean, come on.
This is why automated cars are going to be great. This is why public transportation needs to
I
proliferate.
can't wait. I can't wait for the day that I can just fucking sit in the driver's seat and not touch a pedal.
I think we
and
need to
just
be less. See, but that'll maybe.
recline,
and
and it's automated and it's just a
But
autopilot.
that's bullshit. We are underestimating the act of driving, and I'm guilty of it. But we're all guilty of it. You're going 40 miles per hour in a 3-ton vehicle. That's dangerous as shit.
Dude, I'm gonna be in the back watching porn, chilling out, man. Vaping my life away,
my life.
dude. Pulling huge clouds while the car takes me.
This is how I roll.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. Well, okay. Well, I think before we go full automation, we should at least attempt some sort of successful form of public transportation in Miami. I feel like we always like go the route of least resistance, which is kind of bullshit. Like, I'm surprised it's 2019 and we haven't figured out a way to get to South Beach real quickly. I'm surprised we haven't figured out a way. I mean, and we got those little ghetto scooters that we're going to talk about probably at some point, which I'd like to bring out because I love how those were banned at the Grove.
The birds.
Well, there's like 3 brands now. First of all, those are everywhere, and no one looks. Let's establish that no one looks cool riding those. It's just
Whatever.
you
You
can't.
fuck cool. If you fucking
No,
A
you
to
fucking
B,
look like a 12-year-old.
get the every without a sweat.
Every single
dude.
man, every single human man that on those fucking things looks like a 12-year-old going on a play date.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, man. When I was 12 years old, I had one, but it was not battery powered. It was.
But yeah, well, those were the mopeds.
Yeah.
go
So
pets.
that started, the Go-Peds.
The Go-Ped
That
crew.
started.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a motorized vehicle when I was like 15. It was a go-kart. It was fun.
Aren't you cool?
It was pretty dope.
Wrong-
That shit was
wrong
amazing.
gang, boy.
I drove that shit all the way to the falls from the Grove once. It was lit.
Wow.
But I'm saying, man, we need to get our public transport in order. We need to make it commonplace. People need to be engaged with it. It needs to be functional.
Hold on. We went on a tangent because we're
No
we gotta
bullshit.
circle
This
back
is the
to
same,
texting.
This is
Okay,
the
okay.
same. That's it. All all has to do with texting. We're car dependent, but we're also digital dependent.
Yeah.
We got to choose one. So like either automation has to kick in fully, or we need to create some viable form of public transportation in this city. Other cities have done it. It's 2019. I've been in like much. I don't want to say less off countries, but countries that have had much harder struggles. Like I was recently in Colombia. Like I went to Medellin, and their public transportation is on point. You can get anywhere in the city. You know, it's a little smaller. Obviously, doesn't have the same sprawl, but they have a functioning system within certain areas. Actually, across the whole city.
Okay. Let me stop you a second before you go way out there to wherever you guys were going, and you're talking like route talk and traffic talk. It's boring as shit.
Beer kicked in.
It is Wednesday, July 10th, 2019. This is Nothing's Going On, episode 13. We're live on Jolt Radio. I'm very happy to be here. Thanks to Jolt for hosting us. I also want to let everybody know that these shows are on a podcast. It's a podcast, so you can go on your favorite podcast app and subscribe and listen to this show whenever you want. And so I wanted to say one thing, which is to kind of watch the talking too all over each other, because we are kind of yelling all over each other, and it doesn't sound good later. So just keep that in mind. Little pause there, a little timeout there. Okay. So when you're going to talk, just make sure that somebody else isn't talking, and don't try and get that word in real fast, because it doesn't sound that great.
I've been doing that all night.
We all have. So okay, let me get to the next thing. I'm going to go into some serious shit, and you guys can comment however you want. We are going to talk about what you just talked about. So I will mention those two things. What are you looking at the time?
No, I just want to say, are we still on texting? Because I have the actual law that I wanted to tell the viewers?
Somewhere between texting, public
listeners.
transportation.
No, I wasn't going to keep going on texting. I was going to talk about the next thing, which is...
No. Let's go. Before we go on, I just want to tell the listeners what the actual law of texting is, because I think everybody needs to know.
Go for it.
Okay, tell me.
Because I have it right here in front of me. It's called, so the key sentence in FS 316.305 is, in quote, a person may not operate a motor vehicle while manually typing or entering multiple letters, numbers, symbols, or other characters into a wireless communications device. Holding your phone for GPS purposes is okay. Now, if you're driving on I-75 doing 80 mile per hour, typing the address may not be. It's still a new law, and we're waiting for the state attorney's officer for more clarification. Basically, there's a police officer letting everybody know what the deal is. So if you're typing, it's illegal. If you're looking at GPS, you're okay.
Yeah, but how is that ever going to be enforced properly?
Exactly. That's my point.
My thumb was on the pad, officer.
No, this is like a fuck you, you're an asshole, take the ticket.
Hey, I think it's you get pulled over, and then the cop is like,
I think if you're swerving and, evidently you were seen playing with your phone, then you're obviously texting, then you're obviously...
It'll be utilized when it needs to be utilized, when the quotas are up. The people get pulled. I got pulled once. There are cameras all around Miami, believe it or not, watching what you're doing.
CCTV.
Yeah, there is a form of it. I've been pulled over not by a physical officer, but actually by a camera before. So that's like a real thing, just because my tags were out of date.
Okay, that's like a different thing, though. Let's keep moving to some important news, just so that listeners who listen to the show to actually find out what's happening in Miami get to hear these two stupid things. So the county has opened bidding for a rail line from Miami to Miami Beach, and they're going to close bidding in 6 months. So it seems like they're going for it. And there's a whole slew of things around this, okay? So Genting, the Chinese casino people who bought the Miami Herald building, they gave an unsolicited bid, which means the county didn't even ask for it. They came in and were like, we want to build a monorail from the old Herald building across MacArthur Causeway and to land in South Beach. This is problematic because they have a lot of interests and a lot of money, and they're doing this because of their own interests. But at the same time, they are going to give Miami, in the bid, they said they'll give Miami a place to put the station, a connection to Metro Mover, and all these little things, right? So that's one bid. Now they've opened it up to others to compete with that bid.
That's the first bid that's officially coming.
Yeah. So it seems like finally, after 30 years that they've been talking about something called Bay Link, which was a train that would go across the bay, it could be happening. Pretty cool, I think. Even if I don't know how I feel about these guys, with all their shit. I wish Artie was here, because Artie was telling me that Genting, the same Chinese casino, was behind redeveloping all of Flagler Street to put the better pipes in, which is all about water, just so that they could, when they build their giant hotel casino in Miami Herald building, everybody can flush the toilet at the same time. So that's one thing that's going. Let's go back. A rail link all together. And at the same time in traffic, the Miami-Dade Expressway Authority got shut down by the state of Florida, which means that
no more tolls.
Not
really.
really.
They mismanaged the new toll.
So let me explain to the listener. It used to be, or has been for a long time, that all those tolls that went up all over the 836 and all that shit, all that money went to the MDX Authority, which was Miami-Dade based, and they would spend that money on Miami-Dade projects. Now all the toll money is going to the state of Florida, and they spend it anywhere in Florida. Okay, so it doesn't have to come back to Miami, the money from our tolls. At the same time, they've said that they're going to reduce our tolls by 25%, kind of whatever, and they're probably going to kill that Kendall extension of the Palmetto that was going to happen. So
that's a good
Artie, I wish Artie was here, because Artie lives back there where he would actually get to use that Kendall.
Way over there.
Yeah, where he would actually get to use that Kendall extension, but apparently it's not going to happen. So, does anybody have a comment on any of this? Either the South Beach line or the MDX?
I'll make one little comment about the fact that, and I don't know if they're interrelated or connected in any way, but aren't the Chinese backing the Bright Line?
No, that's Virgin and the thing. I mean, when we say Chinese, China's a big place,
it's a Chinese.
Yeah.
This is specifically a company that invests and builds casinos.
It's like when people say I went to Africa.
Just like that riding, the vape bill got on with what was it?
Drilling?
With drilling. It's similar, not A to A, but it's a similar territory where you scratch backs, you create infrastructure, you create a presence, a monetary presence, and then you also say, so now that I built you a transit system, I'm gonna bring in a big old fat casino, plops it right meow.
Yeah.
And you guys are going to be cool with it, right? Yeah. And you're going to be like, I don't know if we want to get in bed with this China dog man exactly.
They shut down the idea of a casino right when they bought the Herald building and demolished it. Because that's at the Florida level. It's not even Miami who gets to decide that, right? That's like a Tallahassee thing. They shut that down. But these guys are in for the long haul. They're like investing all over Miami and shit.
They're looking for deficits and opportunities.
They're waiting for the moment where they get a friendly Tallahassee to say, do your casino, you know?
I mean,
right, but I mean, also, Rafa, I mean, come on, the whole, you have Metro Rail, Metro Mover, Light Rail, you have so many of these transit programs that are going on right now. And one of the reasons why they shut that down is also because they didn't want a lot of different areas from Miami going into Miami Beach. And so I think this is really important to really discuss why it was actually shut down. It wasn't because we were just going to have, hey, let's just have a casino, let's just plop it here and whatever. What they were concerned about, and especially Miami Beach residents, not Miami Beach residents, was like, hey, we're looking at this, how much transient people are going to be having in and out, and who's coming, what are they doing, how much party, how much ruckus, come on, let's be real.
But it's already built on ruckus and party.
It is, like, but imagine you have this beautiful little monorail.
Imagine you had less people driving.
Well, correct, but imagine you have a little monorail, and it's like, hey, let's be fucked up and drunk, and all we have to do is jump on a train and like, we're going to fucking be on Miami Beach, fuck it.
Yeah, it
and
sounds
then
great.
You fucking go, of course it does, I like it too. But if I lived on Miami Beach when I used to live here, yeah, I didn't want that shit.
So you think there's enough residents of Miami Beach saying no to the Metro Rail or the transit?
I mean, I don't have facts and statistics on it, but I really do, based off my friends and my social setting. Yeah, people are like, we don't want that. And I've even heard, I've even seen, I've even witnessed, and even when I'm here, when certain events are going on in Miami Beach, we travel out, we leave, we go to New York, we go here, we go there, and it's just like, I don't want to deal with this shit.
So you're saying they want to keep it they want to keep that mess isolated.
I think they want to keep it not isolated. That's a little far fetched.
What were you trying to say then?
What I'm trying to say is that it's Miami Beach residents. It's like where do you live? Do you want everybody coming in partying at your house and your front porch at your thing? No, you don't. Come on, I don't. Nobody does.
But that's what it is. Yeah,
it is. It is. But it's again.
That's like trying to tell Vegas to calm down a bit. You're like, oh, hey, what are you guys doing? A pool party over there?
So,
yeah.
So when you read about public transit, especially rail, a lot of places say that is the thing that communities push back against it because they think, oh, that's going to bring homeless people and all this stuff to my neighborhood. But at the same time, cities that are very well connected by transit, they seem to be the best cities to me, you know? So it seems like a small little thing to you know, like we need to do this to become a global, not a global, I don't want to say global,
no,
but,
you should
but to be to be a better city, you need good transit, and it might hurt for the beginning, but once, you know, there's other transit lines, the hobos will go to other places. They don't all want to go to the beach.
It's a beautiful thing to see a city interconnected and to actually be able to navigate it without getting in your car and being stuck for an extended period of time. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And I've always, for years, have wondered why Miami, especially in such a wonderful surrounding, has not taken advantage of connecting its points. And I hope we do. I really do.
All right. What did you have to say, Andy?
What did I have to say about the transit line?
Yeah, I don't know. You had your hand up.
I had my hand up because I was probably thinking how you're pointing your finger at me and I forgot my train of thought.
Okay. Well, on that note, in 6 months, we will know if Miami is going to build a a monorail from Miami to Miami Beach. The bids are open. It's happening. And the tolls are going to change. Keep it in mind. Let's move on.
Okay.
It is Wednesday, July 10th, 2019. This This is Nothing's Going On in Miami, episode 13. My name's Rafa. I'm here with the excellent panel of Andy, Gabe, Caroline, and Chip. I forget. I have to write down the date because if not, I would forget it instantly. I would not even know it's Wednesday. Okay. A couple last things. The last Royal Castle is in West Hialeah, family owned by a family named Brimbury, and the great
legit royal
Castle. The last one. It used to be a big thing like White Castle, but before White Castle or at the same time. They make sliders.
I thought you were talking about actual royalty for a second.
No, and I don't know. I read a fun article where the grandfather, this guy, just passed it on to his grandson. He's 27, and he's going to run the business. So if you want a good little mini slider thing, go to White Castle in Northwest Hialeah.
Royal Castle.
Royal Castle.
Royal Castle.
Okay. There was a gas leak in the Grove today that got everybody scared because of that gas leak in Plantation the other day. No, was it in Plantation? There was a gas explosion up in Fort Lauderdale the other day. So today there was a gas leak in the Grove. Oh, wow. And they shut down some streets and they shut down some other stuff.
All of 27th was shut down to the water from the highway down.
Uh-huh.
I heard about it from a couple of friends and then literally was on the way here, had to reroute in order to get to my Flanagan's.
Do you guys know how they found out there was a gas leak?
I do not know.
I don't know either.
Oh. I thought you were going to tell us.
I don't know.
Cliffhanger.
How do you know if there's a gas
Yeah,
leak?
I was going to ask, what are the signs of a gas leak? You smell gas?
Yeah.
And then what? Everyone walking on the street not vaping and smoking cigarettes is apparently threat levels like 10.
I think the threat is any type of little spark will cause an explosion.
But what are we talking about? Are we talking like fucking blocks of carnage? Or are we talking like that was interesting? Like,
I guess
a magic show.
It depends how much gas.
I guess you didn't see over the weekend. There was. I didn't talk about it because it's not in Miami, but it was in Broward.
Close enough.
Not for this show. Miami's already big enough for me to be talking about Broward. There was a huge explosion at a mall because of a gas leak, and I think one person was critically injured, and a bunch of people were injured. It blew the whole face off the damn building.
What kind of gas? Because I know I've been in places where propane is a steady source of power. Even in cars in certain countries.
Yeah.
But like I don't know
Yeah,
any
natural gas.
places here that like runs on natural like
So
does your house run on natural?
No,
Like,
it's not very common here because electricity is nuclear, so it's cheap compared to
we got
that.
turkey tip brewing.
But if you're in other places, yeah. But what happens? Restaurants and stuff like that will have gas burners.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and they might have gas lines as opposed to, so they don't have to change it all the time.
Dude, in my apartment, we have gas.
Okay. Right around the corner from there.
Yeah.
Yeah. This was off 27th. You live off what?
Virginia,
So like a block and a half over.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm off day. It was a thing. I mean we were rerouted. It seemed critical.
But nothing happened, luckily. So.
I'm sure nothing happened, but it's just funny when you are like, even when you're rolling through the Grove in the midst of a potential emergency, you're just passing it off like, look, man, I gotta get to Flanagan's. Can I take a right? You're gonna let the scooters go? Like what? Why the scooters are like? Why couldn't the scooters go and I can't go? Like what are you talking about? I mean,
so talking about that because you mentioned it before. Are the scooters banned in?
They were banned and then unbanned, and
really?
It's just a matter of displacement and timing and regulation and who was paid off and how it came to be. Like, it's just funny. It was funny to see. So there was a time literally where the scooters, I don't know if it was the Bird, I forgot which brand it was, were literally dropped off in the Grove. All regulations damned. Like this is a service now. It's available. There's an app. And then the local commission voted against, and so they were all physically removed.
Okay.
So picked up on trucks. And then I went away for a bit and didn't pay attention, and then literally it's probably been 3 months and they're fucking back with 4 more brands. It's just funny. It's just funny to see. The same thing sort of happened with taxis and then Uber, but then you see these little scoots. I'm surprised more people aren't like paraplegics, because you like combine scooters plus Miami, plus our like street systems, and just plus general, people's general habits here. And of course, I mean, I guess they shut off at a certain time, or maybe they don't.
No, I don't think they shut off.
Bro, I've seen like also 6-year-olds like with their iPhones like, oh, this seems legal, and they're just like cruising in like 20 seconds, like, and they're just going 40 miles an hour. Well, maybe 28.
So
28 miles an hour
or 32.
Yeah,
right.
But like how unsafe, but also practical,
I agree.
and also annoying, also awesome.
I agree.
I like that the scooters are available.
Are they on the key?
They got banned on the key. They had the Lime bikes.
Oh yeah, I remember those Lime bikes.
Yeah, and then Lime ditched all their bikes, and they said we're going scooters only. And the key said no scooters, and they just banned, which I think is lame. But
well, the other end of it in terms of the crowdsourced culture, you can get paid for picking them up and plugging them in.
Whoa!
Did you guys know that?
I'm sure somebody's got to get paid to do that.
They just like an Uber driver gets paid for driving people around with their car. Right. You get paid. There are people who get paid to go pick them up
and put them
and plug them in
and put them back where in the high place.
You use the barcode, you register them, and you say I plugged in 5 scooters. They're charging, and you get like I don't know X amount of dollars or cents or whatever.
Easy money.
I suppose, but how many scooters are you picking up? And I guess maybe for some it is. Like I don't know how that works completely.
I don't know. I think that's kind of boring either way.
I don't know, man. That's like disrupting culture. It's a way to like people. There's a million Uber drivers out there. Like,
do you allow scooters on the sidewalk,
dude? Who's regulating all this shit?
I'm asking. Would you?
I think they're on the sidewalk.
Well, they are. I'm asking do you think that's fine?
They can't block the sidewalk.
No,
like,
I mean, come on.
I drive my bike
on the curb. Come on, not on the sidewalk.
I drive my bike on the sidewalk sometimes, depending on what's more convenient.
Definitely. If not, you're gonna get hit by a car in this city. Whatever. I'm tired of scooters. Let's keep moving.
Scoot.
Wait, back to the gas leak. I noticed there was like porta potties on 27th Avenue. I have no idea why. Like, why?
Maybe some construction or something.
Like they were bringing it out for the gas leak.
Oh, that's interesting. That may be a way to solve it, right?
I guess people can't go in their buildings, so they go to the porta potties or something.
That's funny. All right, let's move on. It's Wednesday, July 10th, 2019. It's 10:24 p.m. Nothing's going on in Miami, episode 13. I'm your host, Rafa, and we're going to move on from all the news, unless you guys have any news for me that I forgot to mention. Oh, seems like you don't. Okay, let's move on to the calendar. I don't have much in the calendar. It seems like Miami's a bit asleep because of I probably missed a bunch of stuff, but it's July, and you kind of there's people out, kind of. I don't know how you guys are feeling things. There's definitely less traffic.
Talk about season?
Like people are out of town?
Yeah, people are out of town, I feel
Locals are out of town.
Yeah, locals are out of town.
Snowbirds are out of town.
Yeah, everybody's out of town. So
it's the slow season.
So for actual events on the calendar this week, I don't have much.
I can speak to that a little bit about snowbirds. I got some family in North Carolina, and there's a huge... Well, I'm just saying, man.
Okay, wait. Before you do, let me just do the calendar. It is a part of the show where we actually announce events that are happening.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I have here, it's actually a friend of the show, Anna, and is going to be... Her and last guest on the show, Diego Machado, are part of Placeholder, and they have an opening at the Design District on Thursday, July 25th from 7 to 10 p.m. And the show is called All That Is Solid, and they got a bunch of artists, Ed Holland, Jessica Martin, Nunn, Alan Reed, Dion Ruby, and Anastasia Samoilova, who I really like her art. Anyway, this is in the Design District. You should check it out Thursday, July 25th.
Where in the Design District?
Okay, you know where the ball is, the bubble ball is? I forgot what it's called. I know it's another artist, but...
Bucky Dome. The big Bucky Dome in Palm Court.
Yes, exactly. There, On Thursday, July 25th, from 7 to 10 p.m., you can have free drinks and look at art.
Free drinks?
There's always free drinks at art openings, guys.
That always follows the actual art.
Which is
cheap wine.
which is always a good excuse to go to these things. And at the same time, you can, check out what's going on in the art scene in Miami, which I really love.
Dude, it's a hell of a city.
But I know a lot of people don't, they're not into it. They don't get it. But the fact that they're giving away a couple drinks, people are hanging out and talking and stuff like that, it behooves you to get out there and check these things out because, why not?
Why not?
Right?
Free drinks, people, why not?
Exactly. So that's what's going on. That's all I got in the calendar, unless you guys have any events.
I don't have a calendar of events.
Ever.
All right.
By moral basis.
And I was going to do, I don't have any openings and closings, which is where I talk about what restaurants have opened or restaurants have closed or any other type of kind of thing that might be a landmark institution or something that closed. The last thing that closed, we talked about it last week, was the Electric Pickle.
Oh, yeah.
I got one that closed.
So sad.
What do you have closed?
Scotty's officially is closed.
Even Scotty's Landing in the Grove.
Scotty's Landing in
Wait,
the Grove
but
is
it's
officially
called Grill.
cerrado.
Even with the new name.
Wasn't it called Grove Grill or something?
First of all, I don't know what the fuck the other name was because I never called it that.
Okay.
So even if it was Grove Bay, fuck yourself. It's
okay.
It's
that's
definitely
close.
Scotty's Landing, and it is officially closed.
Okay, so let me tell the listeners because this is a good one. That's a good one, Chip.
That is really sad.
So Scotty's Landing, great place in the Grove, was open. It was a little dock bar, I guess you could call it, right next to City of Miami City Hall. At some point, they decided we're going to remodel that whole area. We're going to tear it all down, blah, 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 blah. And the people who was funny is because Scotty's had really bad food. It always sucked.
Bad service,
Yeah.
bad food.
Yeah,
good drinks.
Bad service, bad food, good drinks. And City Hall was right next door, so the commissioners knew very well that they had a piece of Miami property that they were leasing out to this bar owner who had really shitty service.
Never got it together.
And they were right next door, and so they would go to lunch and be like, "This place fucking sucks.
Yeah, but
we need to switch it."
Yeah, you always went.
So then they gave the concession to somebody else, but it stayed the same. So it was like this ratty little dock bar. And now I guess it's finally closed. Scotty's is dead, even with the new name or whatever. And I assume that it's dead because they're going to tear it all down and build that Bayside thing that they're going to do in the Grove.
What?
So it was always one of these scenarios where, yes, the contract had been sealed years ago. It was a matter of time before they broke ground. Ground is being broken around that area in Miami, but it was always one of these things that you just passed off as, it'll be a few months, it'll be a few years, it'll be whatever. And we always just still attended the spot, us locals in the Grove, without, two thoughts of the reality of the situation. I, to my dismay, recently went with a friend of mine, maybe like 5 days ago.
To go for the conch fritters.
Just to go Tuesday. Like Tuesday, I had a day. I need to go sit at Scotty's and look at the water and get a vodka soda and just ponder. And I showed up, and a little security guard rolls up. He was like, cerrado. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And he's like, it's not open. I go, it's not open today? So when is it reopened? He's like, never. And I'm like, shut your mouth.
Shut the front door.
Yeah, you don't know what you're talking about. This place is always open, and it always will be open, always has been open. There was a time, I still have my Save Scotty's t-shirt from 10 years ago when they tried to shut her down. So, we have been operating under the false pretense that this place has been secure for a long time. This was like visiting your aunt in, Nantucket, and someone's just like, she died.
Wait, what?
And you're like, oh, really? Aunt Helen died? You're like, she been dead for 4 weeks. And I'm like, fuck, I just talked to her. She's like, no, she dead. And I'm like, can I still go get a conch fritter? Or no, man, over. And
Kitchen's closed.
You guys have to understand, for me, I'm a Grovite, and that is a big deal. And it is, a portent of the coming times. In the Grove specifically, Grove is going through another renaissance. Like,
it's a shame that the city of Miami sold out that place to build like some kind of Bayside thing that they're going to do. It's going to be just like Bayside.
Yeah, it'll be a Bayside-esque sort of a thing.
No, it can't be as bad as Bayside.
Why does
worst. Bayside's the worst is the worst.
Bayside's so bad that it's good. Like
no,
to go.
You don't ever go to Bayside.
No,
Bayside
I don't
is
go,
strictly,
but I'll go ironically.
I'll describe Bayside as basically cruise ship vomit.
Yeah.
Now, but when it opened, it's what the Grove is going to be, and then in 6 or 7 years, people are going to be like, "This place is whack."
But
Wasn't there a Hard Rock there?
Yeah, still there.
Probably still there.
I lived in Miami for 6 years, and I never went to Bayside. I lived in Brickell. I lived in Edgewater.
You weren't attracted by the guitar? Hard Rock guitar.
I mean, I mean that could segue us to water taxis too. That's another wonder.
No. We're not segueing anywhere. We just did openings and closings.
I have an opening.
Well, I want to leave.
Scotty's is done.
I want to leave a thought on that though. We talked about public transportation, and I still am bewildered why we don't utilize ferries and other water transports in this city, even as a gimmick or a novelty. But I feel like we can make it a working thing.
The distances are too far. Okay, moving on.
No,
you have one last thing, and then we're wrapping up.
I have an opening.
Okay, what's your opening?
So, as I mentioned before, I work at the design district for the landscape department, and we had good friends there who had a taco stand by the name of La Pollita. And La Pollita was super dope. The two chefs that owned it were Michelin star trained, working at Michelin star restaurants, and they opened their own thing, and there was this taco stand in the district and a little, like a little food truck of sorts, a trailer. They moved on. They got rid of the truck, and they moved into a brick and mortar, and it's called Boyade. Boiade. And Boyade is super dope. It's the hole in the wall that you have to find, and you have to go, and you have to look for it, and you have to, once you find it, you're going to be treated to some really, really good food.
Where is it?
It is on... I'll give you the exact address. It is 5205 Northeast 2nd Ave. So just north of the Miami Design District.
Okay, cool.
Little Haiti area.
Boyade. In where I'm from, La Pollita means the little dick.
I thought it meant the little chicken.
La Pollita would be a little chicken in the rest of the world. I don't know where you're from, but
Wow.
Yeah, I know, but polla is dick,
So
and
Rafa has a
and it's La Polla, and
no, it's La Pollita.
A little chicken dick.
yeah,
The
but
little chicken girl.
Well,
The little female chicken.
but
is what it
chickens
is.
are pollos, and then so
Pollita.
Pollita.
It's not exactly right.
La pollita.
La polla means
That little pink.
That's but that's only for me.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's only for me. I'm
Speak for yourself,
European in
bro.
my boots, so it's a
for
little
yourself.
different.
European in my boots.
Yeah. Okay, so anyway, thank you, Boyade, Northeast 2nd. No little dicks there.
By 52nd Avenue.
All right, that was
Sorry,
stupid
by
anyway.
52nd Street, I guess is what it is.
Okay, well, that's the show. Thank you very much for the panel. I want to thank Mr. Andy, the horticultural specialist. I want to thank Gabe, the
Somewhere in there, agriculture, somewhere.
and entrepreneur. I want to thank Nurse Caroline. I want to thank Miami Vice Chip here. Everybody say goodbye. Oh, no, wait. Before that, I want to thank Jolt Radio for hosting us. Always good. JoltRadio.org. Check it out.
And a quick shout out to Peppy, the dog on the couch.
Pepe
Yeah,
the dog.
Peppe's chilling.
Everyone spay and neuter your pets.
Yes. And I want to tell you to check out the podcast where you can rewind and talk about, you can listen to it again, and you can subscribe, and you can listen to it on your own time, just like Netflix, but for bad radio. All right.
Some
we will
background noise.
we will be back in 2 weeks. Thank you for coming. Everybody say goodbye.
Ciao.
Goodbye.
Ciao, ciao.
Good night, everyone.
Bye-bye.
All right. Good night.